Hey family, back at you. This is African Osorenko. I am back at you. So family, I came back at you this time to do another live. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the person that you saw on the screen of the video, whose name is Matthew Biegel. And Matthew Biegel was accused of having sexual relations with two minors, two black minors, two youths, underage youth, and having one of the youth shoot the second one. Okay, who thank God is still alive, but he was shot. So let me go into this story. Let's get into this family. Baltimore teacher inappropriate relationship. And I'm doing this story, family, because of this occurred in the same, I believe, city that the black teacher with the situation with the hair and how so many of us colored folk ran forward to, you know, have this man fight. I'm not saying the brother should, because he shouldn't have put himself in that situation. First and foremost, we have to be very cognizant of our environment and how we carry ourselves and the things we are doing, because we know we are in the belly of the beast and how we must conduct ourselves within, as so. But so many of us ran, to that story and flocked to it and got on top of him as we should have got on top of this one over here. So anyway, Baltimore teacher in inappropriate relationship helped teen shoot ex-boyfriend, police allege. Now notice that you're not seeing this story plastered all over the news. You're not hearing about this story on all the radio stations. You know what I'm saying? You're not hearing people call for the termination and the firing, of this person, this teacher, although he's arrested. So I'm sure he should be fired already, but you're not hearing that. And this is because he is of a different persuasion. And so we all know that when you are of a certain persuasion, then you get that certain protection. We know that. Okay. So, a former Baltimore teacher is accused of driving a 17-year-old with whom it is alleged that he was having an inappropriate relationship with, to a home in East Baltimore where another teen then shot his also ex-boyfriend, who he was also having an inappropriate relationship with. Okay. Matthew Biegel, 38, of Northeast Baltimore, is charged with attempted first and second degree murder and related offenses. Biegel worked as a teacher at the Reginald Lewis High School of Business, Law, and Agriculture from September 15th to August 2023. Okay. And this was told to the media by a spokesperson from the school. Okay. And he also served as a substitute teacher in another school. So they really need to check all the schools that this man has been at, because they don't know how many, kids or children, it could be alleged that he's been having inappropriate relationships with. You know what I'm saying? But he was never a permanent employee at those other schools. It just goes on to say that on July 10th, 2023, Baltimore police were called to a home on McElderry Street in Northeast Baltimore, and they found a 17-year-old who was suffering from gunshot wounds to his face and torso. Now, this was in June of 2023. It's been almost a year now later, and this young man is still fighting for his life. If I'm not mistaken, he's still in the hospital. Okay. And this is a story we're not hearing about. This is a story that if you probably search up, you're not finding a whole lot of information on. But we're hearing about so much about this teacher that had the young ladies unbraiding his hair. I'm not in agreement with what the young man did as far as allowing the students to unbraid his hair. I work with youth over 23 years, okay, in the system. So I already know how inappropriate that is, okay, on so many levels. There are so many adults at this time who don't understand or don't know how to interact with our youth appropriately. I understand that you want to you want to have a good relationship with them and build good rapport with them. So, in order to do that, you try to befriend them, but in all reality, we have to be very careful because we're the adults and how we carry ourselves. But this dude here, Matthew Beagle, was just a straight up pervert. He was the epitome of pervertedness, is what he was. He was a preying on children, is what it is. Okay, who was allowed to be to run amok over our children, because there were even some videos of him on TikTok with a bunch of his students. There were different ethnicities of students, but let's just say we know who he was targeting. But there were videos of him dancing and the kids was at his home. See, all of that, I don't know where those young men's parents were, whether it was a single mother or a mother and a father or a single father, it does not matter. Black people, really what we need to do, we have to get our homes in order. Black people, we have to get our homes in order. And how we begin to get our homes in order is to take control of our children. Husbands, we need to take, and men who should be husbands, if you're out there producing children, okay, we should get control of our homes and our children and our wives. And for the men who are not husbands and say you cannot get control of a woman, then you also should not be inserting anything into any either. We need to abstain from any sexual intercourse is what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, okay, but we're not going to just blame it on the female. We need to all take responsibility for ourselves. It's imperative, okay, because we cannot continue just to blame the women. It is evident that we are lacking our children, and we are leaving our children in the hand of the predator. This is the enemy that we have fought for 400 years. Now, if something is wrong and some of us can't comprehend and don't understand that, okay. But for those of us that have been sitting in class paying attention for the last, I don't know how many decades, then you already know that's not a good thing. We have to stop battling one another because this is a result of what's occurring with our children. They're being victim, or they're victim and they don't even know. I did a story about the young man who was pushed in the water by his so-called friends. And now the young man come out the coma, he almost died. And his first reaction is, everybody overreacted. No one meant to hurt me. How do you know that? You were pushed in the water and you lost consciousness for days. You didn't even know who you were. And if it wasn't for your mama fighting for you, nobody would have even known about this story. Yet the first thing you do is when you come out of the coma is say, it was just a mistake. We're raising our children to be open with the enemy, to accept the enemy, and we can't do that. We can't do that. I'm just saying, people, we have to be more cognizant. We have to be more aware. We have to be more focused. And we have to teach our children better. Family, we come from royalty, no matter what they say. They can say whatever they want to say, it doesn't matter. We know what we come from. We are descendants of royalty. So much so that our people taught their people, their ancestors, how to clean themselves, how to bathe, and things like that, because they didn't know how. Okay? So we have to remember that, and we have to walk in that and in our full being. I hope to see you back. Again, I hope that you like, share, and you continue to come back and subscribe, please. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again. Take care. Bye bye.